my friends, how are you? Hope you're all still with us. Yeah, so we're heading to, so we're going to head down to Rome, but we're going to go via San Marino. We're also going to go down to San Marino, and after that we'll go to Ancona, and then to Rome from there. So this road takes you to Bologna. If we keep on this auto route, on autostrada, the autostrada Bologna-Padova, which takes you all the way to Bologna. And we go a fair way on this one, and then all of a sudden we exit off this, and then we take another autostrada after that one. That takes us south down to San Marino, and then after that goes down to Ancona, which is on the Adriatic coast, and which is pretty much across the sea from Croatia, the Dalmatian coast. Another beautiful area which we can attest to. Yeah, so if we calculate the distance from here, we're looking at our present point to Rome. This is present point from where we are now to Rome via San Marino and Ancona is 593 k's. So from where we filled up with petrol just outside the causeway from Venice is 104.4 k's right now. So yeah, so we're heading away from Venice, and this takes us all the way down to, as I said before, so San Marino, Ancona, and then Ancona we work our way inland to Rome after that. So yeah, so that's the plan of attack. Weather's warmed up to 25 degrees Celsius. It has warmed up. But yeah, so as I said, back on the autostrada, on the A14 autostrada here. A14 autostrada, this takes us, this is what we're on, then we change. So to zoom out of the map now, give you an idea of our present location. Okay, so that's our present location at the moment. You've got tailgaters and that, even though we're overtaking, you can see what flavour of gummy's chewing in the rear vision mirrors. And there you go. But this has a speed limit of 130k an hour. 130k an hour. This is controlled by tutor system, average speed cameras, and tolerances are around, some say 5%, some say 10%. But what we've found, even though these cameras have been here in Italy since 2012, is that the distance between each of the speed camera gantries measuring average speed is anything from, works in a fashion of 12 kilometres, for the first one will work out to 12 kilometres between the gantries, then 5 kilometres, then 7 kilometres after that. That's pretty much equal to the trip meter reading. So 12 k's, 5 k's, 7 k's, and back to 12, 5, 7. And then whatever the threshold is, the trigger is anything from 5 to 10% of the speed limit. And if you travel that distance, if you drive that distance in a shorter time frame, then that's when the system will determine whether a ticket's issued or otherwise. But generally speaking, for the most part, on 130 zones controlled by tutor, the limits can be, it's people drive around 130, 135, 140. Now and again you'll see someone going beyond 140, 145, 50, and even 170, 160, 170. And here in a roadwork section, and that no one pays attention to the limits, and part of that's because they're quite conservatively set. But everyone, myself included, everyone's still doing around 100, 110, 120 k's, and there's no road workers on site, nothing of the sort. Everyone's still just not driving dangerously. But as you can see over here, the road's pretty open, but everybody drives around 100, 110, 120. But again, in cases where no road workers are present or machinery, people just keep on scooting along. So yeah, we'll keep you posted shortly anyway as to how far we go till the next gantry. So far we have travelled 8,824 kilometres kilometres. That's how far this car has travelled. So subtract 12 k's from that. What's that? So 8,825, 15, 8,813 k's is what I've driven on this trip so far. And we're down here in Italy. So 8813. So you're just over 5,500 miles. That's what this works out to. The roadworks are cleared, so it's back to 430 k's. And yeah, no, it's, as I said before, traffic generally moves at 140, 135, 140. Occasionally you'll see someone going a bit fast, as I said, at 160, 180 in between the gantries. And the only thing I can put that down to is that they know someone very high up common here in Italy. You can see the sign over here on the right. See where it says autostrada, controllo elettronico della velocità con sistema safety tutor. So in English we would translate that to electronic control of speed by tutor system. And here it is up here. Here's another gantry up here. So it's coming up to 114.5. So this tells you traffic broadcasts. Signs here. Another gantry. Controllo elettronica della velocità con sistema tutor. Pretty sure I saw the words revenue raising out of that too. Yeah, I think they were silent, weren't they? Yeah, I thought they were. So how would we rewrite that? So you'd say controllo elettronica. So controllo elettronico della velocità con sistema revenue raising tutor. I don't know what the Italian words for revenue raising are now, so I'd have to study those up. Yep, sistema tutor. Yes. So that's the state of play at the moment. So we have to exit another 19 k's from here, according to the sat nav. According to the sat nav, another 19. The country's always beautiful as always. Anyway, you can see out to some areas got the vineyards. You can see them on the right here. Unlike a long time ago where 160, 170, 180, 190, 200's the norm. So in areas like this that are controlled by average speed cameras, the driving's more conservative compared to what it used to be. However, if you compare the driving, say the driving style here, the Italian driving style, to Australian driving or UK or American driving, American-Canadian driving, and that, it's very aggressive compared to those areas. But as I continue to highlight, it's a lot less aggressive than it used to be. Manchesters and your Eastern European countries, and there's another one coming up. Or is there? Might be a little bit. Like all those motorways, you always have your services, petrol stations. A lot of them are much dearer than urban areas when it comes to buying food, or buying fuel, I should say. So mantenere la distanza di sicurezza. So in other words, maintain the distance of safety. So keep a safe following distance. And here in Italy, a safe following, as what a lot of, not all Italians, but what a lot of Italians believe is a safe distance, or have thrown caution to the wind, is pretty much sitting about, I think it's about what, 2 centimetres off your rear bumper or something like that. And that's even when you've already completed overtaking. And yes, about 2 centimetres. So I've got a BMW on my rear now. You see him? Yep, you see him now. What flavour of gum is he chewing? I think about strawberry on this one. Yep, you can see him now. 140, he's overtaking. Or yeah, I think it might be one of those limited strawberry and licorice flavours. I think, and a very limited edition. He's going to overtake. Yes, back down to 133. He's the next gantry, as you can see up here. Controllo elettronico della velocità con sistema tutto. 126.3 on that one. So yeah, so if you look at the entire video and look at your timestamps, you can work out the time I've taken between gantries as well to work out my average speed. So the tutor system doesn't take photos of it at each gantry to measure your speed at each gantry. It measures an average speed. So it'll take one photo at one gantry, another photo at the next. It doesn't measure individual speed at each gantry. So yeah, it's got a centre gross bloody shop at that one off that junction to Bologna. But yeah, I've mentioned that I miss the Italian driving days of old. If it was clear down here, I'd be doing, like other Italians, I'd be doing 170, 180, depending on the car I got, 200 plus if the conditions are right. And yeah, very common place here in Italy a long time ago. But yeah, I wonder how my mate in the BMW ahead is going with his chewing gum. Might be blowing a few bubbles with it now, I think. Absolutely. He was pretty close now, as a standard. See, now I overtake, I move back out of the outside lane. But my mate in the BMW be doing about 140, 145, thereabouts. But again, be careful if you want to follow super fast cars and tutor systems. There's a fair bet to say that driver will either be taking the next junction before the next gantry, or he knows someone at a very high place. Such is life here in Italy. Such is life. Someone else will know someone else, and that is like the bullshit that some of us Australians come out with. Oh, my friend's brother's daughter did this, that, and the other. So you could say in a way that a lot of the Italians know a few people in high places and are able to get away with a few things that many others wouldn't be able to. But again, that's life here. So yeah, some radio towers. Don't know who they're for though. A few radio stations. I'm not sure which ones is to who they're for exactly. Corradi, outdoor living space. That's Italian. Yep. There you go. B&B hotel. There you go. See, you never know when B&B hotels are gonna crop up. So yeah, all over the place, and not all countries in Europe have B&B hotels. Not all, but a lot do. So there is an app you can get on your phone too, which enables you to scan all the B&B hotels. You want to come over here to Europe and use their hotel chain. So yeah, so using the hotel chain and finding the best possible price depending on where you want to go. So yeah, there you go. This might be an unmarked car too. You can talk by the two-way radio he's got on the roof. So yeah, certain things you've got to pay attention to. There's another car coming, a Peugeot 508 station wagon. But yeah, 1.8 k's. We're going to have to change lanes, and we're going to have to get off the motorway anyway. Milano Firenze, Ancona, Bologna. So it's going to take us Ancona, Bologna, 1.4 k's from here. So yeah, we'll see what this junction shows. There's another gantry, 134.0 k's exactly. So 1k, Milan or Firenze, so Milan, Florence, Ancona, Bologna, Boulogne. Tangenzale, Ring Road. Have you got the ticket?
In 500 meters use the right hand lane. Keep right onto A14 towards Ancona.
In case we need it. No, maybe not yet. Ancona, Bologna is where we've got to go.
A14 towards Ancona.
There we go. So on the A14 off autostrada.
14 for 113 kilometers.
Might take us on Strada Statale for a bit too. Tells you all the signals on the autostrada. I might not need that for a while now. But like I did say before with Italy and that, like France's auto routes, you take a ticket, and whichever exit you take off the auto route or autostrada here in Italy is where you pay. So it's all in proportion to the distance you've driven from the toll gates. There we go. Merge. There we go. And like other countries and that, you always have your billboards and that, which tells you about any dangers. Attention, caution, regular road. It's having trouble. No, it's got us. Sat nav has got us. We have to get out this one anyway. There we go. Ancona. So you can tell by your overhead signs as well, paying attention to your gantries, with what lanes are available, what's not available with the cross, like many other countries. It's at 111k, Strada Statale 72, SS72. So yeah, what's he got? 110k's, control of velocity. So I thought I'd do that little video for you and that, let you know where we are. Some more interesting information about Italian autostradas and those sorts of things. So yeah, and the toll system. I can't tell you what the toll is because we haven't reached another booth yet to pay for the section from outside Venice. So yeah, do stay tuned with us. We have a lot more where that comes from. So for now, maintenant, au revoir. Bonne journée and peace. Laters. Arrivederci.